Whenever I'm about to start doing one of my videos, I'm never really too sure on how to start. Obviously, I know that to introduce myself, my name is Kelly Parke. I'm from Monster Thinking. I'm the founder of Monster Success. But what else should I say? How else should I open myself up to you? And the only way I could figure out is to just be honest as I can. I'm going to bring you back to 2006. 2006 was one of those years that really changed my life. My life has always been like up and then down. Like real small ups and then a real big downs. And with my ups, I always credited myself, and with my downs, I blamed everyone else. I blamed the place that I came from. I blamed my mother. I blamed my father. I blamed my friends, my sister. I could blame ex-girlfriends. Man, I could even blame you. I could blame with the best of them. But the ending of 2006 is what I really want to focus on. I was in Ottawa, and I wanted to come back home. My home is Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I wanted to come back home, but I didn't want to come back the same person. So what I did was I thought a brand new car would change my whole reintroduction to my old friends, because I hadn't seen them in 2 years. I didn't go back and forth. I was just gone for 2 years. So I bought this brand new car, and I was coming back to Toronto. I decided to visit one of my friends, and when I'm about to reach to his house, I didn't signal. I think I didn't signal on a left turn, and I got pulled over by the police officer. But he didn't say, well, okay, so he pulls me over, he comes to the glass, and he goes, you know why I pulled you over? And I was just like, well, whatever. And he goes, because you don't have plates. And I was like, shit. You know, I had the 10-day, but my 10-day was in the front. So I give him my license and my registration. I told him I just bought the car. I bought it in Ottawa, just coming back home coming back to Toronto and whatnot. He runs my name. He tells me I got warrants for my arrest. That was my introduction back to Toronto from Ottawa. Being in Ottawa for 2 years, come back to Toronto, I get arrested on the day that I come back. What am I arrested for? I'm arrested because I'm arrested not from something I did that day. I'm arrested for something that happened, I think, in 1998. This is 2006. Somebody, a jailhouse snitch, had said that I played a big part in some sort of trafficking cocaine, gun running kind of thing. So I get arrested. And I get brought to jail once again. I've been to jail a couple different times in my life. This time, though, was really different because I wasn't the same person that I was before. I did a lot of growing up, so I thought. So I get brought into my cell, and I get told, I get told that all these charges, I'm not this person. I'm not this gun runner, cocaine trafficking guy. I cannot survive in jail for 5 to 10 years. Like, how the hell did this happen? How did this go from me in Ottawa wanting to buy a new car, show off to my friends, to me sitting in the Toronto Don jail facing like 10 years? How did this happen? So while I'm sitting in my cell, I decide to be honest. Now, you might hear a lot of things about jail. Everyone hears stories about that it's violent, and yes, it is. And they hear about, people bringing drugs through their butts and stuff like that. But one thing you don't hear is how honest jail is. Jail is probably one of the most honest places that you can ever be in. And the reason why it's so honest is if someone catches you lying, most likely they're going to cut you open and pull out the truth. And I don't mean that as a joke in any way. So I took this atmosphere and I decided to take some responsibility in my life and stop blaming others and only crediting myself when things were going right, because I'm sitting in jail by myself. Who's there to blame? It's only me. I'm the only. I can't blame the guy who's ratted me out or told on me or whatever he did. I can't blame him. I only can blame me. And that's what I want to touch on today. The first step I had to take when I decided to take responsibility of my own actions. Now, when you're sitting in jail, people are always talking. There's nothing else to do. So a lot of people are talking shit. Some people are just talking about girls or how to do a crime better. But what I want to focus on is the words that they say have meaning. It's very honest. So with all that honesty around me, I decided to change. I wanted to make my words more honest. I noticed that things that I was saying didn't really mean anything. And it didn't mean anything at all, not that day. I mean, it didn't mean anything for probably the moment I started talking. Nothing meant nothing. My mother taught me that this is a chair, this is wood, this is a shirt, but I didn't have any meaning. I could point it out. If you said, what does a girl look like? I'd say, oh, that's a girl right there. But I didn't have any meaning. So I wanted to add meaning to my words. And the first word that I needed to add meaning to was a man. I needed to know what a man is. Because quite frankly, I didn't know. You know, I was chasing an illusion of what a man was, but what was a man to me? And once I defined what a man was, then I knew I had something that I could work towards. I had a physical representation of what I was supposed to be. Was I supposed to be intelligent, charming, a straight shooter, you know, a conversationalist? Like, what was I supposed to be? So in my cell, I made this big, long list, and trust me, I had more time than I needed to make this huge list of what is a man. What do I think a man was? And after I decided what a man was, I had to move on to what a woman was. Because in my life, like I said earlier, I blamed a lot of people, and I had this habit of blaming like my girlfriends of the past. I'd be like, oh man, she was a bitch and all that kind of stuff. But when I got serious about it, none of my girlfriends were bitches. Seriously, I've probably been blessed with the best women that the world has to offer. Like really friendly, kind, non-judgmental women. Like I'm a hard man to love. So any woman who would stay with me is A-okay. But I really needed to define what a woman was and what a good woman was, because that's what, from now on, I was going to be my description of a man, and I was going to invite my idea of what a good woman was. No more confusion, no more, you know, fallacies of what I think a woman should be. So the first two words were man and woman that I had to define. The third word I wanted to define was time. And obviously, that was the third word, being in the Toronto Don jail, because all you think about the time I was going to get, the time that has passed, how much time did I do already, how much time did this guy get, oh my God, time, right? So I defined time as very important to me. From now on, I was going to start tracking what I did. Instead of just wasting time, wasting away my years just doing absolute nothing, I wanted to start planning. I guess the corporate world would call it time management. I just call it just time focus. I just focus on my time. So I had to define what that really meant to me, because I really think that when it comes down to time, people like play games with it. Me right now, if you say, or we say that we're going to meet at 4 o'clock, man, that's like holding a contract with me. If you show up at 4:05, I take it as like ultimate disrespect. Like that, I take time really, really seriously, and I suggest that you do too. So let's go back. My first word was man, woman, time. I had to define, and I'm doing this in myself. Just I had a lot of time to do it. And my fourth word is the most important word that I've ever, and you will, and anyone will ever use, is yes. It's my favorite word. Yes will always open up doors. Yes will always present something new. Yes will almost always present something better. In serious situations, not like in a joking matter, like you want a headbutt? Yes. I mean, like in serious situations, yes is usually the answer that will change your life. Right now, I want to thank everyone who's watching these videos, because really I'm opening up my life, and I'm allowing anyone who sees fit to take little bits and pieces out of my life and hopefully add it to theirs and energize themselves in some sort of positive direction. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Live for Yourself. Once again, I'm Kelly Parke, the Monster, and you guys have a great day.